Hello guys, welcome to my this video, and in this JavaScript tutorial I will show you how you can use Owl Carousel in your project. And by using Owl Carousel I will show you how you can make this testimonial slider. So first of all, here I will show you the preview. So here you can see the button and I can slide by this button. You can see here, and here is the dot, and I can slide this slider by this dot, and this is the testimonial slider. So I will show you how you can do that. And the previous tutorial I have shown you this card, and here every card has the images, and when I will hover on this card, so you can see the hover effect. And here every card has the unique images, so I can choose the image, and if I hover out, so image is still here. And this one, and here I had added the owl carousel also, and this is the partner, this one is the owl carousel also, and this is the footer design. So I had made this design in the previous tutorial, so I will provide the link of this playlist in my description. So if you want to add this design in your website, so you can add. I will provide the link in my description. Okay, so in this tutorial just I will show you how you can add this testimonial slider, and here I will use Owl Carousel. Okay, so first of all I will open my Visual Studio Code editor. So guys, here you can see I have opened index.html file and the style.css. so here you can see I have already written some code. So you may the confusing here, that is why is this code. So here I will give you the brief idea. So this CSS and this HTML code is for this design which I made in previously, and that link I will provide in my description. So you can go to my description and watch this video, so you will get the link, I mean this code also. Okay, so if you want to add this design in your project, so you have to be watch my previous tutorial, and there you will find all this code which I already had written in my previous tutorial. So just above of all the design, here you can see this is the design, and above all the design, just here I will add the Owl Carousel for testimonial slider. So guys, here just this is the all the code for the design. So I will minimize all this code from here. So first of all I will minimize that. Now you can see this code are minimized. So just above of all the code I will add Owl Carousel, because here all of this above of the design I will add the testimonial slider. So here just I will add, because this is the code and above all the code. Okay, so first of all I will show you how you can add Owl Carousel, and this is very simple guys. So everything I will provide in my description, like all the link, all the code. Okay, so don't worry about that, but here you have to be just watch this video, because how you can add this link and where you have to be add this link. Okay, and how you can make the design for that, but code I will provide in my description for Owl Carousel only. So here you can see this link. Okay, so this is the link for Owl Carousel CSS, just one link. Okay, so I have added in my head tag. So you have to be do the same thing, this one. So I will provide this link from here to just here in my description, and I will write this is the CSS link. So just you have to be do one thing, just you have to be copy this one, and the same way you have to be write in your head tag, that is link relation style set, and href this CDN link for Owl Carousel. And guys, one thing you have to be remember, that is if you have a custom CSS link, like this one is my external CSS page, and that link I have added here. So above this, if you have also custom CSS, so above this link just you have to be add Owl Carousel, because if you add Owl Carousel link below of this custom CSS, so that time you cannot modify your Owl Carousel CSS, because always it takes last of the thing. So here this style.css is the last I have added. So that means whatever CSS I will write here, that will be exactly works. So now if you write this link below of this link, so that time I cannot modify, because last link is that one. So whatever I will write here in this CSS, so that will not be work. So that's why above this custom, I mean external CSS link, you have to be at your Owl Carousel link. So I hope this one is the clear. And now just I will scroll down, and guys here above the body tag. Okay, so above the end of the body tag, so here is the body tag is end. So above the end of this body tag we start to write our script. So this is the jQuery script. Okay, so I will provide the link of jQuery CDN link. So if you hadn't add this jQuery link in your project, so just you can copy from here to here, just I will provide this link here, and then after that you have to be write just end of the body, above the end of the body tag. here you have to write like same script source, and then inside this source you have to be paste this link. This link I will provide in my body tag, and here in the heading I will write that is for link for script. Okay, you can easily understand when you will check my description. And this one is the Owl Carousel CDN link. Okay, so this one I will provide also in my description, and the same way you have to be write. First of all, the jQuery link, and after that Owl Carousel link, because the Owl Carousel comes from this jQuery. Some method is written in Owl Carousel that comes from jQuery. So that's why jQuery link will be above and then Owl Carousel link. So the sequence you have to be maintained. Okay, and after that here the script tag for the code, script code that you have to add. So I had already added Owl Carousel in previously for this one, you can see, and for this one, this partner slider. So two Owl Carousel I have already added in my project. So that's why this jQuery link and the script Owl Carousel JS link, and here is the Owl Carousel CSS link I already had it in my project. And also the same way I have added, again I'm showing, two Owl Carousel for this slider and for this one. So that's why here you will get two slider code. You can see this is the for first one, I mean this cart slider for this one, and the another is partner slider, that is for this one. So this code you have to be add. Okay, and the ID always be unique. So here you can see this one is the ID. So that's why I have defined using hashtag. So when I will show you, so it will be easy to understand. Okay, so first of all you have to be add the code from here. So any of code from here just I will copy. So this code I will provide in description also. So from start to end just I will copy, and here just above, because this testimonial slider I will add above all the design. So that's why script tag I will write above all the script. Okay, I hope here it's also clear. And now this is done. Okay, so guys, this one is the ID. You can see this is the ID. So this Owl slider is for use for this one, and this is the partner slider used for this one, and this ID I had to provide in our HTML code. So if I show here this partner, so this is also the slider. So you can see here I had to pass the owl, I mean this ID. Okay, this partner slider ID which I used here. You can see same way. So first of all I had provide I will provide this code also in my description, and just here I will change the ID. Okay, so ID name here I will write testimonial slider, but ID name you can write anything as per your choice, but whatever you will write here, so that you have to pass to your HTML code. Okay, so now here this is done, and now just you can modify this code. Okay, so this is as per your choice. Like here you can see the 1000. So this is for the responsive, I mean for your device size. Suppose your device is 1000 pixel screen size, device screen size is 1000 pixel or more than 1000 pixels. So first view you will get 3 items. So that I will also explain. Okay, so first of all now I will add the HTML code. So for the HTML code, just I will do one thing, I will copy from here. So this HTML code I will provide in my description also. Okay, so I will copy this code and just above all the code, because testimonial slider I will add above all the designs. So from here I will paste, and for this div item here I have to be write the end tag. So this is end div tag, and for this one just here I will write end of this Owl Carousel div tag. So this is done. So this one will will help to make your Owl Carousel, but the ID, so this ID I have to pass. So first of all I will minimize this one and also this one. So this ID I have to pass this one, testimonial slider. So this script code I will use for testimonial slider. So I will copy this one and just here I will paste. Okay, so now your Owl Carousel is done, implemented, but here I will just add the design for our slider. So first of all I will show, and I will show you I will write this content, and I will show you how we can modify this carousel. Okay, so now for 3 slider. Okay, so this one first of all 1, I will write the 2, but here I will pass the images actually, but for showing purpose it's working on note, so that's why I will pass this one 1 2 3, and here I will write 4 and 5. So this one is the 4, this one is 5, and the again another item, that is 6. So now that means I have 6 item, you can see, but here just you can see when our screen size is 1000 pixels or more than 1000 pixels, so that time I can see 3 item out of 6. So now I will save, and here I will just refresh. So you can see slider is added but design is not, so the design I have to be changed. But first of all, let's see this, it's sliding or not. So now if I slide this one, so you can see it's sliding. Okay, so here you can see it's sliding, and this is the button, slider button. Okay, so this slider button is coming from this one. Here is the nav text, and this is the icon I have used for this is the font awesome icon. So before that you have to be use font awesome also in your project. So if you don't know how to use font awesome, so watch my previous tutorial step by step of this landing page design. So there I have shown how you can use font awesome icon. So this is the font awesome icon which I passed in our nav text. So that icon actually is showing here. Okay, but only it's not okay. I mean, just here if you pass this icon, that time it will be shown. It's not true. Just here you will find option nav. So these option you have to be write true, so that time it will be shown. If you write here this option is false, so that time you will not get this button icon. You can see because nav is false. So what is the benefit to add this icon? Because nav is false, so nav you have to be write true, and after that you have to be add here icon. So this is for preview button, and this is for the next button. And the margin for each item, so if I show here for each item like 1 2 3, when I will add any images, so that time you will find the difference of margins. Like here is the 3 item of slider, so here between each item is the space, so that's actually I have added by margin. This is the margin. Okay, and the loop is if I write false, so that means here I have 6 item of slider. If I show here, so you can see here is the up to 6 item, and now if I refresh again, so here I am getting 3 item first preview, because here I have mentioned that is when our screen size is 1000 or more than 1000, so that time I will get 3 item first, so I am getting that. And now suppose if I slide, so 4 5 and now 6. So now when I'm trying to slide it, I cannot slide because I have written that is loop here false. That means when the slider item is end, so that time it's a loop false, it will not be slided. Okay, but if I write loop true, so that means when slider will be end up 6, then it will be a loop, then means it will come again 1 2 3 4 like first one. Like again I'll show you here, so 5 6, and then if I slide again, so it will come from 1 again, that is looping. Okay, so this one is the done. Autoplay true, that means suppose in manually if I don't slide like this way or button click anything, if I don't do this, so it will be automatically slided. So that's why it's a autoplay true. And when it will be automatically slided, suppose we want to like this, you can see here it's automatically slided. Okay, so now when it will automatically slided, suppose if I hover on that, so the slider will be paused. I mean, it will not be slide when I will hover on that. So that is actually auto play hover true. Okay, so this one is the done. I think it's a I can explain. And there are other some properties, that is mouse drag true, touch drag true, other some property of Owl Carousel there are. So dot true, so like here if I write dot colon true, so that means I will get the dot also, like dot true. So if I write, so it's not coming actually, so maybe it's a dot, not dot, it's maybe dot true. Just I have to be check why it's not coming. But if I write dot true, so okay, so here is the dot, actually the color is not showing, so that's why it's not visible. So suppose if I write the dot color, then it will be visible. Okay, so suppose if I write width is 10 pixel and the height of, I mean just manually I have to be at the CSS for dot, but now dot is comes here, but it's not visible because I have to be change the color, and the background color is this one, and display inline block, and now you can see the one dot is showing here. Okay, so like this way, in the next just I will show how you can do that. But first of all, I had shown that is the slider, how you can implement and how you can modify your slider property. Suppose you don't know what is the slider property, for what purpose use, so you can just simply go to your Owl Carousel official site, like Owl Carousel official site website. You can write like this way and you will get this Owl Carousel official site, and from here you will get all the documents. Okay, like here you can see docs, so here you will get all the documentation. So from here just you can do that. Infinity loop, everything, smart speed, stage padding, everything you will get. So I don't need this document actually, so that's why I will not discuss. But if you want, so you can read the documentation for why this documentation is used, like margin, why use for margin, why loop. So whatever I need, so that I show here. Okay, so you can read the documentation. And now guys, here I will start to write the design, because this is the slider is added here, but it's not a testimonial slider, just it's a demo slider. Okay, I mean here you can understand that how to implement slider in your in your project, Owl Carousel in your project. So now guys, here I will start to write the design. So just here I will minimize this one, because I will use this one. First of all, I will write the some design for the testimonial part. Okay, so first of all, here I will write section. So section class testimonial. Okay, and now here I will write D class containers. So guys, if you know about Bootstrap, so here don't confuse here. This is not a class of container, this is containers, and this is custom CSS class, which I have added some custom CSS for this class, containers class. Okay, so this is not a Bootstrap class, so don't confuse here. And now guys, here I will use Owl Carousel. So the very simple, just this thing and the item I have to be added. So I will do one thing, just I will cut from here now. Okay, so this one I will paste. Okay, and I don't need the all the item right now, so just I will cut and I will keep it one item. And inside this item, first of all, I will write the HTML code for image, I mean who will give the review, so that that's image, and the name of the reviewer, and the designation, description, everything. Now I will add. So here I will add first of all, that is deep class testimonial image. So class name, ID name, and the variable name you can write as per your choice. And now here just I will add the image. So image source and dot slash images folder, and here testimonial folder and m1. So I have already stored some image, and this image you can find Google easily. Okay, and if you are not finding this image, so you can write in comment, I will provide this image also. And here I will write inside this alter tag testimonial. So alter tag basically used for SEO purpose. Like suppose the image path is missing, like here is the blank, so that time whatever in this alter tag, so that will be shown. And suppose or here maybe the image path is missing, or maybe the image path is wrong, like here instead of m1, suppose if I write m4, by this m4 name there is no image, so the image path is wrong, so that time it will be shown the alter tag first. So first of all, if I save and if I refresh here, so you can see it's showing the images. Okay, so the item is 1, here you can see one item, but if I define here when the screen size is 1000 pixels, so that time the first preview item will be so 3, so that's why it's copy the one item up to 3. Okay, so that's why it's copied, actually item is 1. So here when I will use the testimonial slider, so first of all I will show the one item, so here the all the time is one item I will show, so like this one. So if I refresh, so you will find the one item, and image is too bigger, that I will add after that when I will write the CSS code. So now I will show the use of alter tag. So now the image is coming because the path and everything is fine, but suppose the image path is missing, or it may be the image is blank. So now if I refresh, so here you can see it's coming the image height, our image height, but it's showing the blank image and it's showing whatever I have written, that is testimonial in alt tag. So that showing in browser, so user and the developer easily can understand that is the image path is missing or the path is wrong. So that is actually use of alt tag, and it's basically used for SEO purpose. So this one is the done and image is done, and now here I will write for content, so testimonial content, this one, and I will write the name of the reviewer, I mean who had given the review. So the name is the dummy name, you can write as per your choice this name, and here I will write the h3 tag, and inside this h3 tag I will write the designation of this reviewer, I mean this man had given the review and this is her image, suppose just example, and this one is the designation, so designer. Okay, and now here I will write the content, I mean what he has written about this site. Okay, so that is in I will write in this p tag. So here I will write the demo content. So demo content means, guys, just you have to be go to lorem ipsum, you have to be type in browser lorem ipsum and you will get this link, and here you have to be go. So lorem ipsum provide a dummy text, suppose this website, now this is I'm making a locally, but suppose if I publish this website in our server, so that time if I take content from any other website, so that website give me a copyright issue. So lorem ipsum provide a dummy content, so if I use lorem ipsum, so that is free content, so I will not get copyright issue. So I will copy the content from here to like here. Okay, so just here I will paste and I will break this one like this way, I will break, so you can see here now. So this is perfectly done. Okay, so this is p tag is done here, and now everything is done, image is done and the name of this reviewer and the designation, everything is done for first item, and here totally I will add 3 items, but you can add any item, more than 3 item also. So now I will start to write CSS, so I will copy this testimonial. Okay, so from here I will write, because this is body and containers, because this is the container class I used here, so body and container I used commonly. So just apart from this body container, and this is the font link, Google font link which I have imported, so that's you can get my previous tutorial. So apart from this 3 which is commonly, so just from here I will start to write code for testimonial, because testimonial is will be above all the previous design. Okay, so that's why above all the previous design is CSS code, I will start to write code from here. So first of all here I will write the background image, so background image and the image path, so URL, and here I will write the image path, so // and inside this image folder, and there is the testimonial folder, and here I have already stored a image that is named bg.png. and when we write background image, so that time we are to write some other different property, that is background size. Background size is cover, I will explain what is the use of this CSS property. And background position is background position is center, and the background repeat no repeat. So now I will explain what is the use of this CSS property when we add background image. So this CSS property use for, suppose we don't know how long our content will be going on, like here before that our content was up to, it's from here to here. Okay, but guys now our content is increasing, so now our content is increased up to here, so that means content may be increased. Okay, so if I write the background image, so that means suppose the first of all our background, suppose if I add the background image in our body tag, so that means our background image, suppose first time it would be start from here, because it's a background, from up to here where our content was in, but the content is increased, so that means our background image should be end up to here. So that's why here I have written background size will be cover, I mean it will be cover whole of this background. The image will be cover whole of this background, and the background position center. That means our background image will start from center. And now suppose our content is increasing day by day. So now our content increase size is 1000 pixel and our background image size is 200 pixel. So now it's a 1000 pixel background and image size is 200 pixel. So how it will be cover our background? So that time it would be do like this way. So 200 pixel will be copied up to, I mean, into 5 times. So that is 1000 pixels. So 200 pixel image copied up to 5 times, like 200 pixel, 200 pixel, and it would be like up to 1000. So like you can see 200, 400, 600, 800 and 1000. So now it would be covered like this. So image would be repeat, but for I do not want that the image would be repeat. I want this 200 pixel image would be stretched and it will be 100 pixels. So that's why here I have written that is background repeat, no repeat. So that means the image size may be shorter than content size, so it would be a stretch. So that is, so I hope it's a clear what is the use of this CSS property. And now here I will write padding. So padding is top and bottom 20 pixel, left and right is 0, and the padding used for add some space in inside our element and margin outside space, and the position relative. So position relative when we make our div floated. So suppose there is the 2D and we want to make it float. So that time the below of this div we write relative and above of this div we write absolute. So this testimonial, it's a background div, so that is position relative, and whatever I will write floated on this div, so that will be write position absolute, but I will write it later. So now I will add the design for this one, this testimonial image. So this testimonial image is the parent and this is image tag is the child, you can see here. So first of all I will add the design for this parent. So just here I will paste this one, and here it's showing some error. Just I have to be check what is the error actually come. So I will just close everything and I have to be check. Okay, here I missed the @ tag. So I will do everything whatever I had written. So now you can see the same thing I have written, just here I missed, that is mistakenly I remove this @ tag. So now this testimonial image, and here first of all I will set the width and height, because if I show, you can see the image width and height is too big. Okay, and the background image is added, you can see here, but image width and height is too big. So first of all the parent of this image tag width and height I will set. So I will write the width is 110 pixel and the height is the same thing, and margin is 0 auto. So that means top and bottom will be 0 and left and right will be auto means it will be the similar, and when it will be a similar, so that means it will comes from middle, because left and right it's have to be keep it similar. So that means it will be a middle. Okay, because if left and right is similar space, so that means it will be middle, and this one is the done. And now I will copy the same thing, this is parent class, and just here I will paste and I will write image tag, because this parent, so because this parent class child is this image tag. So first of all the parent and then child, that means whatever CSS I will write here, so that will be affected only this image tag, because here I have mentioned the parent. So this parent class, inside this parent class how many image tag will be, so that will be affected. So here now one image tag, so that will be affected by this CSS what I am going to write. So now first of all this image I will make it round. So I will write border radius is 50%, and here I will set width and height. So width and height you can write the same like this parent class whatever I have set here, otherwise you can write 100%. So that means 100% means if the parent width and height is 110, so that means if I write here 100%, so that means it will be go up to 110 pixel. Okay, So height is like 100, sorry, 100 percentage, otherwise you can write 110 pixel also here. Okay, that is the same thing. And now here I will write the border. So border is 5 pixels solid, and the border color, so border color is RGBA, and here I will write not to this one, this one is the border color. So first of all I will save up to this, and just here I will refresh. So now you can see here it's looking like this one, and it's also I can slide this one also. Okay, so this is done, and now I will add the design for this heading. You can see here this heading, paragraph, and the content also. So first of all I will design this heading tag. So here you can see the heading tag parent is this testimonial content. So I will copy this one, and inside this heading h3 and p. So first of all just here I will paste this parent, and here I will write h2, and also I will write the h3 tag and p tag. So this one and p tag, because this parent class there is the everything, you can see h2, h3 and p tag. So I will now I will write the css code one by one. So first of all I will write the css code for this h2 tag. So first css, that will be font size. So font size is 16 pixel, and the color, so the color is orange color I will add, so this color code. And now the font weight is 600. Font weight used for make our font bolder. And the text transform is uppercase. Uppercase means, guys, here if I show, I think it's not a visible actually. So first of all I have set the font color up to here. So now you can see that I will show you in HTML file, that will be easy. So you can see the first letter I have written, that is capital, and after that it's a everything is small, so that's called capitalized text. But if I write uppercase, so that means all the letter will be capital. Okay, so if I refresh, so now you will find, you can see all the letter is capital, but here I have written like this way, first capital and after that all the letter is small, so that is called capitalized. But when I mention in CSS that is uppercase, so that time the view will be uppercase, every letter is capital. So this one is the done. And now here I will write margin. So margin is 9 pixel and 0 and 0.5 rem. So you can write margin padding anything like pixel rem vh like this one. So for top I have written 9 pixel, right is 0 and bottom is minus 0.5 rem. And the left you can left I will write 0. So here I don't need to mention it 0, otherwise you can mention like 0 here. Okay, as per your choice. So this is done. If you don't mention, so it will be automatically detect the left margin is 0. Okay, so and now here I will write line height. Line height is 1.2 pixel. So line height means, guys, suppose here just I will give you the example. Suppose here is the line and here is the line. So there is the two line. Okay, so but the between this two line there is no space. So that is line height. So the line height will be added. So that means it will be added the space between all the line. Okay, so that is line height. So this one is the done for h2 tag. Everything is done. Okay, so now I will write the CSS for h3 tag. So first of all the font size is 15 pixel, because the first h2, the heading of this name will be bigger. After that it will be shorter than h2 tag, and this paragraph will be more shorter than h2 and h3 tag. So that's why first one was the 16 pixel and the h3 tag is the 15 pixel. And the color I will write here white color, and here I will write line height. Line height is 16 pixel. And margin is, here I will write the margin, top is 8 pixel, right is 0 and bottom is 10 pixel. And the letter spacing, so guys, if you don't know what is letter spacing, that I will also explain. And letter spacing, first of all I will write 0.4 pixel. Letter spacing means, suppose here if I take this one for example, so this testimonial send word, okay, in this testimonial word there is the some letter like T, E, S. So letter spacing means every letter it will be at space like this, and how much space, so that I mention 0.4 pixel, so that is actually letter spacing. So this H3 is the done. And guys, here I will write for H2 and H3 to another CSS property, that is text align center. So now if I refresh, so you can see it comes from here and also a center, because I have written that is text align center. But guys, here one thing I have to be add, that is margin, because margin is not properly coming. So the for the H2 tag I will increase the margin like not 19, 20, 22, okay, 18 is perfect for H2 tag, and the H3 tag here I will increase the margin also, so that is this 20, not 24, okay, this one also 18 done. So guys, here I will increase the margin size for H2 and H3. So here I will light 18 pixel, and just here I will light 18 pixel for H3 tag also. And now guys, I will add the design for this paragraph, this one. Okay, so the paragraph design, first of all I will light text align center, which I will copy from here and just here I will paste. Okay, so that means our text will be start from center. And the position is relative, because in this paragraph tag I will add some icon, okay, in a before and after tag. So first of all I will add the design for the paragraph tag, and then I will explain that one. So margin top is 28 pixel, and then the right is 30%. So here I will write margin by percentage, and top right, then bottom is 70 pixel, and the left is also 30%. So this is done. So now first of all I will show, now okay, I will set the color also, then I will show. So the color will be this paragraph, that is this grayish color. So now I will show this one. If I refresh and I will close this one, so you can see it's showing like this one. Okay, so now I will add another some design for this p tag, that is font size. So font size is 14 pixels. I have told you the first font will be more bigger, so that's why it's a 16, and after that 15, and then it's a 14 pixel. And now line height, so the line height will be 23 pixel, and this one is done. Okay, so now save, and once I will show you the preview, so you can see now it's looking like this. So p tag is done, and the before of this p tag, I mean here, just here, look at my mouse pointer, here I will add icon, and end of this p tag here I will add some another icon, and that will be font awesome icon. So the font awesome icon will be floated, so that's why where it will be floated on this p tag. So that's why the p tag is first of all position relative. So guys, if you want to add the font awesome icon, so that time you have to be add font awesome in your project. So that I have also shown in my previous tutorial. So I will provide the link of this playlist, so you can watch step by step and you will get how to add font awesome icon. So this font awesome icon you can use two ways, like in your HTML or CSS. If you write HTML, so that time you have to be write the class name. Like if I go to the font awesome icon site, so in the another tab here I will write just simply font awesome icon CSS, so it will be redirect this link. Okay, like fontawesome.com version this one and icon, just this link you have to be type, and you will redirect it here. And suppose here if I search quotes, this one for right and this one for left, I mean this one for starting, I mean before of the this paragraph tag. So guys, here this one, okay, this is the icon class. So if you want to add by the class, so you have to be copy this class and you have to be paste in your HTML where you want to add. Okay, like here if I copy this icon class and just here if I paste and save, and now if I refresh, so here you will find the font awesome icon is added. You can see here just in my mouse cursor, where is my mouse cursor, just you can see here it's grayish color, so it's not more visible. So you can see this icon is added. And the another way I can add this font awesome icon, so here I will remove because I will not add by HTML, I will add by this CSS. So I will get the code, that is this code. Okay, so by this code I can add font awesome icon in my CSS, and that icon I will add in the before tag. First of all, before tag means here just before of this paragraph I will add, so that is before tag. So before, and the content, when we write before and after tag, so content is must. Without content it will not be work. So the content, then slash, and then I will copy this icon code and just here I will paste like this. And after that, the another thing, that is position. Not first of all, the another important thing, when we write font awesome icon in CSS, so we have to write font family, and the font family is font awesome like this. Okay, this is most important when we write font awesome using CSS. And the content is always must when we write before or after tag. So if I would not write this icon, so that time I would write here content blank, but content is must if we write before and after tag. So font awesome is font family is done. And now the position is absolute, because I already said that is this before and icon tag will be floated. So where it will floated on this p tag, so that is relative, and this one is absolute. And now when we float any div, so that time we have to set the position from where it will be floated. So the left will be minus 15% and the top will be minus 50 pixel. So that's one. And the font size of this icon will be 42 pixel. And color I will add RGB. Okay, so color property, then RGBA, and color I will add this color code. So this is done. So save, and here I will write this one. So you can see the icon is added. If it's not visible for you, so I can change the color, then it will be more visible to you. If I write the icon color is white, so you can visible it more visible. You can see here the icon is added like here, but I will make it gray color, so that's why I have added this color. And the same way I will just copy this thing, and instead of before, now I will write after tag, because here I have added the before and the end of this paragraph, that is after of this paragraph. So here I will write the icon also. So here this one is the starting quotes, and here if I write again, if I find the quotes, so now this code, this one I will copy this icon code here and just I will paste here. Okay, and now I will change the position. So position, so here it was in the before, so that's why I had written left, and it will be a right. Again also, that is from here end of the p tag, that means right. So that's why it's just I will change into right instead of left. And the bottom, because it was the top of this paragraph and it will be here, that means bottom, so bottom will be 0. So I will write bottom will be just 0 pixel, and everything will be the same. So just I forgot to save, so I will save this one, and now I will refresh. So you can see it's added this icon, and the icon is just little bit of visible, so that's why it's looking better. If you think if I write white color, it will look more better, so you can do that also. Okay, so like if I write white color, just choose which one is looking better. Okay, so like if I refresh, just this one, so which you are thinking it's looking better, so you can do that. But here I have added the gray color. Okay, and now this one is done, and I will add the dot for this owl carousel which I was doing in previously. So the dot will be, I will design for this testimonial slider. So first of all I will copy all of this parent, this testimonial, I mean parent of all classes, that is testimonial. So I will copy this testimonial class and just below of this testimonial class here I will paste, and the dot means suppose if I inspect this slider, so here if I comes here, so you can see owl nav is disabled and owl dot is disabled. So it's why it's disabled, so that I will first of all I will explain, because you may confuse here why it's showing disabled nav and dot. Because in the HTML, in the JS file I have written dot true and the nav also true, but it's showing disabled. Why it is, guys? Because here you can see first preview I am showing one item, and now in the HTML I just have one item yet, I don't have more than one item. So in the first preview it's showing one item, and I have mentioned it will be a one item here. So that means there is no remaining item for slider. So what is the needed for this dot and item, I mean nav? Because there is no other item for slider. This same item is copy here you can see, but no other unique item for slider. Okay, because here is the one item, so that's why this dot and nav is showing disabled. If I write here like two items, suppose if I copy this same item from here to here, and then if I save and if I refresh, so then you will find, you can see owl dot is active and the nav is also like here, owl nav and owl dot. Disable is removed from here because here is now two item and I'm showing in preview that is one item. So one item is remaining for slider. So now this time dot and nav is needed. Okay, that's why. But now if you change here, item is 2 and my total item is 2 here. So in the first preview I'm showing 2 item out of 2 item, like here 2 item, and out of 2 item I'm showing in the first preview 2 items. So that time it will be dot and the nav will be disabled because there are no other item for slider. So if I refresh and if I show again, you can see this owl nav is disabled and dot is disabled because no other item for slider. So I will write it 1, and if I once just paste here this another item, so I will do the change here also. So I will change the m2 and here I will change the name, that is John, and this one I will write developer. Okay, and the this content will be the same. You can write the different content also from lorem ipsum free dummy text, and if you have another content so you can do that. And here I will change the name is 3, and this one I will change the mark, and the designation I will write manager, and the content will be same. So now it's a 3 item and 3 unique image, 3 unique name. So this one, so if I refresh, so first one this, and if I slide second, and so guys, now I think here it's clear up to that. And now I will design first of all this dot. So I will copy this owl dots. Okay, and just here testimonial, the parent of all the classes, and now here owl dots. And now this one I will write position absolute, because this dot I will make it float, and when we write position absolute, so that time I have to be set the position. So bottom is 10 pixel and the left is 50%. And now so I will copy this one again, I will paste here, and now I will add the design for this each dot. So this one I have added for only floated, the parent div of this dot, and after that for each dot I will add the CSS. So owl dot, the parent name is owl dots, and this one owl dot. Okay, and now here I will write first of all the background color. So background color, first of all here I will write this color, this is a black color, and now here I will set height is 10 pixel and the width is 10 pixel. And when the height and width is same, so that time if you want to make round any element, we write height and width same and we write border, just border radius is 50%. So that means the element will be round, and the display is inline block. So that means all the dot here is the 3 dot. Like if I open, so this one you can see this one and this one 3 dot, because I have 3 item in the HTML. If I show, there is the 3 item, so that's why by default it's coming 3 dot. So 3 dot, each dot will become side by side in a line, so that's why display inline block. And now here each dot I will add a margin, so I mean I will add a space. So top I will not add any space, just left and right I will add space, that is 6 pixel. And the transition, because when I will hover on this dot, so that time I will add some hover effect, so that's why transition is all and 0.3 second and is this one. So now I will save, and just first of all I will show the preview. So you can see the dot is here, you can see here, and guys here the dot color you can see, and every dot is side by side. That's why I had written the display inline block. Color I had set also height with border radius, that's why the dot is round. And here the margin, so 0 and 6, so every dot has a space, so that space comes by this margin, that is 6 pixel. Okay, in right, every dot left and right you can see here is the space, so that comes by this margin. So this dot is done. And guys, if I show again in this dot, so when the dot is active, now the is showing the first slider, you can see the first item, so the first dot is active. Okay, if I write the second, so you can see the active is here, the second dot. If I click this third, I mean the slider is third one, and the third dot is active. So when the dot is active, so here I cannot see in preview which dot is active, so I have to be write the class for active, some CSS for active, that user can easily understand that is which dot is active and which slider is showing. So for that, here I will copy this one up to dot and I will paste here. And first of all, here I will write the hover effect and the active also. So I will paste this one and dot active. Active means not this one, this active class. So this active which is here. Okay, so now guys, here you can see that's why it's a dot active, because this one is the class. You can see in this class I can get this active. Okay, and owl dot, and in the same class, not parent child relation, in the same class. So that's why I'm not adding here space, just without space I'm writing this owl dot then active class, because it's a same class, not a parent child. If it would be a parent child, so that time I would write here using a space. So that means this would be a parent and this would be a child. Like here, testimonial is the parent and owl dot is the child. So I have added here space, but it's not a parent child related, it's the same class, so I will not add space. Okay, so first of all I will add some CSS for this hover effect. I mean when I will bring my cursor here, so I will add the effect and I will close this one. So hover effect, I will add the background color is background. So background color is first of all this one, and here I will write width is 12 pixel. I mean just little bit of width I will increase here, and the height is 12 px. I mean first of all owl dot height and width is 10 pixel. When I will hover on this, so color will be changed into white. First of all it's a black color, height 10, width 10, and here when I will hover, so background color will be white, width and height will be 12 pixel. I mean little bit of increase. So save, and if I refresh, so if I hover on that, so you can see the size is increased and color is changed. So same thing I will add for this active property. So that means when the slider dot will be active, like now it's the first slider, so first dot is active, so you can see it's a hover. If I hover on this second dot, so it's showing the hover effect, and if I click, so the active is second dot, so still this hover effect is here, okay, because I have added this active. And here you can see now it's the third dot, so it's the active effect is here, this one. So the hover and the active is the same CSS property. So while I will write in the define line, so I will cut from here, and just retain a comma, I will paste this one here, and I will remove this thing. So in the same line I can define, okay, like this, so it will be the same thing. So if I refresh now, you can see it's the same thing, okay. So if I click, so it's sliding. And now guys, here I will add the design for this button. So here is the button, preview and next button, so I will add the design for this button. So first of all, I will just inspect, and here you will find this is the button, that is owl preview, and every button has the icon which I have added in our HTML file. If I show in the JS, so I have added this icon, so that's every button, and there is the icon. And owl next, there is the icon fa caret right, which I have added here, this icon, okay. So first of all, I will add the design for owl preview and owl next. So now here I will go this CSS, so I will copy this parent and paste, and first of all the owl this one preview, so I will paste here, and again just I will copy and paste, and instead of preview here I will write next, owl next, I mean this class owl hyphen next, this one, okay. So now here I will start to write the design. So here first of all I will write the design, that is some CSS property will be owl next and owl preview will be same, and some will be different. So which CSS property will be the same, so that I will write in a same line like this, comma and owl next. So same CSS property is position absolute, because this owl button will be a floated, I mean here I will close, and this button, the preview button will be here, and the next button will be here, so it's a floated, and it's a from top 50% here, just look at my mouse pointer, and the next button will be here, I mean from top everything will be 50%. So here I will let position absolute and top 50%. And now another thing, translate, that is minus 50% and minus 50% from top and bottom, and left and right, both are minus 50%. So why transform translate? So this transform translate makes our CSS property strongly in top, right, bottom, left. This CSS property for making strong, we use this one. So this is done, and the background color will be same for this next and preview button. So background color will be this FFF and this 2. So this grayish color, so this background color I will add, and the width and height of each button will be same, that is 64 pixel, and height will be 64 pixel, and each button will be round, so border radius 50%. When width and height is same, so that time if we write border radius 50%, so the button will be round, okay. This is done. And color means here this button, and each button has an icon, so this icon color will be this color, okay, this blackish color. And jet index is very important thing, I mean when we write our floated any div, so that time we write jet index. Jet index means how much the div will be floated, so that depends on jet index. You can write here 900, you can write here 1000. So 1000 pixel it will be above on the from the below div, okay. So it will be how much floated, so that denotes jet index. And now here I will write the font size of this icon. Font size of this icon will be 24 pixel, so that also done. And now the another thing, transition I will add here, because when I will bring my mouse cursor on this button, so that time here I have to be at transition. so I mean animation. So animation effect I will add smoothly, so that's why I will add some transition property. So animation will be 0.3 second and all for each element, and is mean it's a very smoothly. Okay, so this one is the done. And now here some CSS property is different for owl preview and owl next, so that now I will write here. So owl preview, so first of all I will save and I will show you the preview, so what it's looking like. So you can see here this one, and so I will write here now the owl preview will be, this button is now here the same position. Okay, so that's why I'm getting 1, because it's the same position, preview and next. So the preview button will be here and the next button will be here, so that means preview button will be a left. So here I will write the preview button that is left, so the left will be 114 pixel, and the next button will be in a right. So the next button I will write that is right is 48 pixels. So now save and refresh. So you can see here is the preview button and here is the next button. So I will make it the proper way, so the left and right I have to be changed. So the preview one, this one, and here is the this one. So left I have to be right like this one, this middle of this box. So this one left, so the left is around 148 pixels. So here I will write 148 pixels, and for the right, this one, just here this next button, so right here I have to be right like here 80 pixels. So right I have to be right like 80 pixels. So save, and now here if I save, refresh, you can find this one here, but the icon is now here. Okay, and the icon size just I will increase, that is 28 pixels, so it will be more increase and it will look more visible like here, but icon is here. So I have to be bring this icon in middle of this button. So for every button like preview and next, so for every button the icon will be a middle. So I will write the same line. So I will copy this one, and just here I will paste and curly braces. And now for preview button there is the icon, and for the next button there is the icon. If I show in the inspect, so it will be more clear again. So if I open the inspect, and you can see here preview button, this one, and in this one is the parent and this is the icon, this one is the child. So that's why here in parent and child here I have added space, and same thing here, this is the preview button and there is the icon. So I tag, because here you can see this is the I tag, icon is coming by this one, and here is the also next button. If I open, so there is the child, that is I class, and this I tag icon will be a middle of this button. So here I will write position absolute, and the position absolute, then it will be top from 50%, left from 50%, and for making strong of this top and left property, here I will write transform translate minus 50% comma minus 50%. From top and bottom it will be minus 50%, and left and right it will be minus 50%. That means it's making us strongly this top, left, right, bottom property. Okay, so this one is done. So I will save this one and refresh. So now here you can see the icon is in a middle. Okay, and now here I will add the hover effect on this button. I mean when I will bring my mouse cursor on this button, so that time I will add some effect. So for each button the effect will be same. So the same like just here I will copy this one, and here I will paste, and just here for the preview button here I will write hover, and for the next button here I will write hover. And when I will hover on this button, so just background color of this button I will change into orange color, and the color of this icon I will change into white. So this is done. Save and refresh. So if I hover, you can see the color is changed and I can slide, and here also the same. So now our slider is done. Okay, so this way you can add owl care as well in your project. So I hope guys you have enjoyed this video and this video will be helpful to you. And guys, if you found this video is helpful to you, so don't forget to like this video, and you can subscribe my channel for getting more this type of video, and also press the notification bell icon. If you press the notification bell icon, so what video I will upload, so that will reach up to you.